the movement lesson, we talk a lot about life functions. Life functions are crucial for milestone momentum to be initiated in the body. If you have a child or an adult that you are just struggling with seeing progress or development in any type of aspect, it could be physical, mental, emotional, things like that. If their life functions are compromised in any way, you can do anything under the sun and progress is going to be very, very difficult. Now, what are life functions? Our first one here is breathing. Breathing is a very important life function. If your child has had any respiratory challenge, whether they've been intubated, they've been in the hospital with pneumonia, they've been in intensive care, and it doesn't just have to be children, it can be adults too. When the breathing starts going, all function starts going. I just had a recent experience with a middle-aged mom, and her children are older, but she was really struggling with breathing all of the time, and it just interrupted her whole day. And her family called her, a grouchy mom. She used some other term, but I forget the nickname. Anyway, she was just really grouchy, and they could tell when she was struggling with breathing and things like that, because she was just really upset. And so she came, and I worked on her, and after the first session, she was like, wow, I can already tell I'm breathing better. And she went home, and a few days later came back for another session, but she said, my husband was like, you need to go back to that person because you're not complaining about your breathing as much. And so she has had a severe increase of her ability to have just normal life, home functioning activities. The next one is balance. Balance is another really important life function. If you have one wrist that's tighter than the other wrist, or if you have a leg that's heavier than the other leg, that's imbalance in the body. I just was working on, she was probably 13, 14 years old, and she was just asking me about her posture. She's like, my shoulders are always forward. Is there something you can do with that? And I was like, well, I don't know about that, but let's see what we can do for you. And so I laid her down, we did the newborn movement assessment, and the left side of her body was much tighter and lacked rotation in the body, more so than her right side. And it was everything on the left side. So all I did in a 30-minute session is I just went and balanced everything out. And just from that, in her particular experience, her shoulders came back significantly. And she's like, wow, this is kind of weird to have a new normal. And her mom was like, I can't believe you just did that. I've never seen her shoulders look like that. And that was simply just balancing out the body, okay? So the next and last life function is heart function. And this is something when you go to just emergency care, and if you do not have good oxygen saturation, they will send you to the hospital for the emergency room. I had taken my husband and he wasn't feeling very good. I'd never not had urgent care be able to take of just a simple little cold or things like that. It was obviously more than a cold because I was concerned about my husband and taking him in, but they said your oxygen saturation is under 80. We can't do anything for you. You need to go to the hospital. And just having that low oxygen saturation, my husband's function was not there at all. And I have another daughter with severe special needs. That's something when she starts getting sick, I am constantly checking her oxygen saturation because she just, it takes everything else downhill. Her respiratory starts struggling, and all of these life functions start struggling on her. So when I have movement lesson, that is all I am focused on. I'm not worried about anything else about movement lesson. I am just maintaining her life function to keep her body going as much as possible. And so if you are doing the movement lessons, you're doing either a mini course, you're in the support program, you're doing training, and you're just not seeing the progress, or you're just not seeing progress with your child, this could be a huge reason why, is you haven't addressed the life functions of the child. These courses are really amazing, and they're telling you how to put that milestone in a child with milestone momentum, okay? Putting it in the child so they can experience progress. But if your child or an adult has life functions that are not taken care of, you can do the rolling over course as much as you want. you're going to see lack of progress. You can do the walking course, you can do the tummy time course as much as you want, but you're not going to see the progress that you want. And again, it's not about the milestone, it's about putting your child in a state of progress, and that's what Movement Lesson does. Comment below if this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.